Hello there, everyone. This is Aaron St. Dennis, the FF Mad Scientist, and welcome back to the Mad Science Lab podcast. Today, we are continuing on with my tiers, and here to talk a little Dynasty quarterback action is Corey Bittner. Corey, thank you very much for joining me.
Oh, thank you, man, for having me on again.
Yeah, it's always a blast. What were you on last time? You were on the My Guys for rookies?
That's right. Yep.
I've done so many of these. I know I can picture your thumbnail in my head because you have that Game of Thrones looking dragon, and I remember posting the thumbnail and go, "That's a pretty fucking badass logo." But
yeah, thank you.
So, all righty, you want to take a second here? Tell everyone where they can find you.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, our podcast, the Fantasy Football RPG podcast, you can find it on pretty much all the podcatchers. We are just coming out with episode 38 tomorrow. We're cruising on down the all the divisions right now. We're just breaking down each division one by one. So if you want to listen to a little bit of NFC West, that'll be coming out tomorrow.
Sweet. I'll have to jump in and check it out at some point. When do you guys normally record? I love jumping in the streams live where I chat, but the problem is I find half the people record, like I'll get notifications while I'm at work, and I drive at work, so I can't really join the stream. So I always look for pods that come on, they're live later at night, because it's fun to, banter back in the chats for the pods that I'm not on. But
yeah, we do it Tuesdays mostly and in the evening. So we usually start around like 5:30 p.m. PST.
That's why I haven't got to jump in. I play baseball 6 o'clock on Tuesday nights. So I was like, why do I never get the live notification for his show? Because I'm at baseball when you go live. That's why.
Yep.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's jump into some Dynasty quarterback action. We'll start off hot with Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, right? QB1, a couple years here, and still young enough that I'm confident to put him in the elite tier, man. Let's put him in tier number 1.
Nothing spicy there. From one end to the other, we have Jacoby Brissett.
Oh man, Jacoby Brissett. He did actually okay on the Browns last year until Watson came on the scene. Still, that being said, I'd probably put him in below average. I don't think he's bad, but I think that's where he belongs.
He looks like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon, and I just keep waiting for him to say, "I'm too old for this shit." And that's how I feel about Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I can see it, man.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow, I think he's my QB2 in my ranking. So let's go ahead and put him in elite, man. Joey Ice.
I love it. Derek Carr. This guy looks like a Pirates of the Caribbean reject. Is it just me, or does he wear eyeliner?
I feel that, man. And there's been some screenshots I've seen where, especially when he's kind of looking down and the way his hairline is, it kind of looks like he has horns. So I always think he looks like an evil supervillain of some type.
I think he's a pirate.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense for the Raiders, right? But I guess now he's a Saint.
He takes this Raider shit too far. But all right, where do you want the pirate?
Going to the Saints, man. I think he could be good. I think he could be in the good tier. He's got a couple good weapons there. Chris Olave. Let's see if Michael Thomas can be anything again. But I think he could be good.
Primetime Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. I think I'd put him right alongside Derek Carr. Yeah,
fair enough. Fair, kind of safe, not really exciting.
He's got Jeff, but he just chokes so much, man.
Yeah. Now for someone not as safe and 10 times more exciting, Justin Fields.
If I put him anywhere below great, my compatriot on the RPG podcast, Eric, would probably ream me one. So I'm going to put him in the great tier with that rushing ability.
Sounds fair enough to me. Jimmy G.
I mean, Jimmy G is just the definition of average, isn't he? I think I'd put him right in the middle there.
I can't argue that. I don't. Yeah, he's just a guy at quarterback. He is just a guy. He is average. Yep. Geno Smith.
Oh man, Hawks fan here. I want to put him elite, but I can't do it. I know he's not that. I put him in the good tier. I think he's good. He had a good showing last year. I think he'll be good again this year.
That's fair. Jared Goff.
Ooh, this one's a little tough because instincts scream good, but with all those weapons in that O-line, I think I might go a little spicy and put him in great.
Ooh, that is spicy. You know what else is spicy? If you ever gone on Instagram and seen what his wife looks like, holy shit.
Actually, now that you say that, I think I have seen his wife before.
Christine Harper or something like that. It came up on my feed one day, and I'm like, good Lord, I want to be an average quarterback too.
That guy's doing well for himself for sure, man.
Yeah,
I'd probably put him in good if he didn't have, like I said, man, I think he has like a top 3 O-line in the league. And once JMO comes back, he's going to have some fantastic weapons.
For sure. Justin Herbert.
I think he belongs at the top, man. Justin Herbert, he's a dog. I'd put him up at elite.
Elite. Now for a non-elite, we have Sam Howell.
Man, Sam Howell, I don't even know if he will. I don't even know if he'll keep the job, man, over Brissett, who I have as below average. So I'm gonna put Sam Howell as bad. I think he stinks.
Oh, I'm stashing him in a super flex league. Oh, come on, man. Bad. That's look, discouraging.
I could be wrong, but the draft capital on him and just I'm not sold in. I am not sold in on Sam Howell.
I actually liked him a lot more before the draft capital. I was amazed that all the quarterbacks, I think there was 5 in that draft class. I was amazed he was the one to fall to the 5th. I thought he was probably, it wasn't a first rounder. I thought he belonged in the 3rd with the rest of them. I think he's probably better than Malik Willis, Matt Corral, probably the same as Desmond Ridder. And I don't think he's much worse than Kenny Pickett because Kenny Pickett sucks. But
before that NFL draft, he was like the year before that, he was one of the possible number 1 guys, I felt like, and then he just fell so far.
This is why I hate Devy.
Yeah. It's tough, man.
Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah. Elite.
Yeah, I figured that.
Elite.
Lamar Jackson.
Elite.
Yeah.
Yep.
Danny Dimes.
So Danny Dimes, man, I think he has a chance to break into great. I really do.
So do you want him in great or good?
That being said, I think he has a chance to be put in great, but I think he's just good right now.
Yeah, he's a weird one for me. He seemed like I really liked him last year. What was he? QB 8, 9, 10, something like that.
In that range, yeah.
So then his people seem to get really high on him. And then as the season or off season has progressed, it's like people forgot he was a top 12 quarterback and the rookie showed up. And now he was going to where I didn't want to pay the price. Now he's QB 16 by consensus. I'll take Danny Dimes as my QB 2 at QB 16 price.
That's value for sure, man. I think people think back to that time where he just stumbled before he hit the end zone on that big long run and they can't get over that image of him just looking goofy.
You know what? That's the first, when I said Danny Dimes, that's the first thing I thought of. And I almost made a joke about it. But if you look at this tier of the guys in good here, he's probably got the most upside because he's the only one of them with any significant rushing upside. So that's why I like him. I agree though. He's good. And I think he could be great if he progresses. And it's going to depend on if this group of misfit wide receivers turns, into anything useful.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, I mean, Darren Waller, that's got to be an upgrade, right?
You would think. I didn't mind their tight ends, though. Whether it was Cager, I liked Bellinger last year. I thought they were decent at tight end, but I don't know. We'll see. Now for the most intriguing one, we have Trey Lance. Good luck.
Man.
You're either this is everyone either they rank them way high because they're a Trey Lance guy and all you see is the upside, or you're not a Trey Lance guy and you're just like, fuck it, this isn't going to be a thing. So they either end up good or great or bad. There's no in between, I find. But this
is very tough for me too, because on my podcast I have my 2 co-hosts that one of them, Evan, is a huge Trey Lance guy and a huge believer, and the other guy, Eric, has always thought he stunk. And so I'm right in the middle, man. Really, he's so young and has this raw potential that I still think he could be great, but I don't even know if he's good, and I don't think I'm comfortable putting him anywhere above average.
Yeah. I did a article that hasn't come out yet for Player Profiler looking at their quarterback room between him, Purdy, and Darnold. I mean, I think it's going to be him week 1 because I don't think Purdy's ready. But if you look, I was even comparing the production of him, Purdy, and Darnold coming out of college. he didn't do anything at a small
Yeah.
school. He had 1 year that wasn't as good as a couple of Purdy's years, or pretty much any of Darnold's years. And I get it, Darnold's a flop, but like, I think this was a case of his draft class was when the rushing quarterback dual threat thing really it caught fire. And I think the 49ers overdrafted thinking he would be the next Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. And I think he is a huge mistake. I am out on him. I don't think he's a good passer. And even if he does play this year, if you've looked at the numbers post, what do you have, an ankle injury, post leg injury, there's no chance he's going to rush anywhere near what he was expected. I don't know. We spent too much time on Trey Lance because I don't think he's going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. And the average spot is primarily like, I'm hoping he gets traded, basically, because you say he's going to be the day one starter if Purdy's not healthy. I'm not entirely convinced it won't be Sam Darnold.
Yeah, well, he's going to get another shot somewhere because, as we've seen with first-round quarterbacks, they're going to get 9 different shots. Marcus Mariota, someone's going to keep giving him a shot until it's like, okay, this guy sucks. But we got Trevor Lawrence up next.
I think that Trevor Lawrence is elite. Yeah,
I think he's either elite or great. I think he's in one of the ones where I would put him kind of with if there was a bridge here, elite to great. I think him and Fields are on an elite to great bridge here.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think he's just very young and can still take some steps. And I think Ridley will be a good ad for him. To be honest, I think these are my 6. And then Patrick Mahomes basically is like the tier right above that.
I just moved him up. I was going to say, let's just get Mahomes out of the way because he's pretty easy. So
he's it. Yeah.
I just moved him up. You don't even have to talk about him. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's elite. We got Will Levis here.
I liked his like overall profile pre-draft, and then he slid a bit and then lands on the Titans, and he's, below Tannehill on that depth chart. I think that puts him squarely below average for me, just because I don't know when he's going to get a shot. I think Tannehill will be the guy. Oh, wow. Yeah.
I liked him. I've written articles on this, how I treat the rushing quarterbacks like running backs. Use them for a couple of years and trade them before that rushing ability falls off a cliff. I like me a big, strong, prototypical Ben Roethlisberger looking fucking pocket passer, and that's what he is. I get you're right. He didn't go in the first round, but by all indications, the Titans tried multiple times to trade back in, but too many teams weren't willing to give it up. So they moved up and got him at the beginning of the second round. I'm treating him like he has back end of the first round capital. He may very well be a bust. And I think he plays half a season this year. I don't think the Titans are very good, but I like Will Levis. I don't necessarily like him this year, but I like him for Dynasty.
I think that's the big catch for me is he lands on the Titans. And I think along with the Rams, they might have the worst O-line in the league. And that terrifies me for his potential.
That is true. Another confusing one here. We've got Jordan Love.
Yeah. What can we say about Jordan Love, man? We haven't seen much of him. We only know that the Packers seem to like him, but not enough to actually do anything to get him in the game before Aaron Rodgers just up and leaves. I think he's probably average. I think he'll be able to get some sort of relevancy, some sort of points for your fantasy team, but it's such a big boomer bust like situation for him.
I know you said earlier Jimmy G is the definition of average, but even the look of the next guy, Mac Jones, this may be the poster boy for average right here. Where do you have him?
I feel that average seems right, but with like I really wish they would have added some sort of like bigger wide receiver. Maybe if they had Hopkins, I would move him up to average, but I think I have him at below average right now.
I think I'm higher on Kayshon Boutte, and I don't mind Mike Gesicki, but I won't argue with that one. Baker Mayfield. Much like you said, every time you say Danny Dimes, you picture him tripping. When I tell you Baker Mayfield, what's the first thing you think of?
Oh, man. Honestly, and this probably isn't what you're thinking of, but I think of when he was like playing with a torn labrum and won that game and started headbutting his players.
I forgot about that, but nope. The first thing I think of is him grabbing his crotch in Oklahoma, telling the other team to suck his dick. That is Baker Mayfield in a nutshell for me. That's
Yeah,
all I
man.
can think of.
Look, I like he's got that dog mentality. I don't
He's
think
just not any good.
he just is not good, man. I think he's bad. I've never
Yeah.
really been a believer in his ability. I think he's a bad quarterback.
Speaking of quarterbacks I've never really cared for, Kyler Murray, especially
Yeah.
during Call of Duty season.
Well, man, he has this major knee injury, right? And what did he make all of his bread with? Is his rushing ability. That is terrifying.
I'm not sure
If
he plays this year. I think he might miss 8 weeks, and they may just be so far out of it they pack it in.
I'm having a hard time picturing the Cardinals winning more than 2 or 3 games this year. So I think you're right. And in that case, I mean, with his rushing potential, you want to put him at least good. But with everything that's going down with him and the Cardinals situation, I might have him like value wise at average.
Fair enough. Oops. Kenny Pickett.
I'm pretty honestly like against consensus pretty low on Kenny Pickett. Not a huge believer, but he does have some good weapons, and I think that with the O-line improvements, he should take a step forward. So I think I'd put him on average. I kind of want to put him good, but I don't think he's quite there for me.
Dak Prescott.
I think Dak's good.
Good. All righty. Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy, man. Look, Hawks fan again. I do not like the Niners, so it is hard for me to say this, but with how much he operated at the end of the season before his injury, and seemingly the 49ers believe in him and all those weapons he has, I think I'm going to go a little spicy and put him in good.
I don't think he's very good. I think if you look at that strength of schedule at the end, it was a pretty weak group of teams he played, and they kept the offense pretty basic. I think you're going to see when he does come back, if Trey Lance has moved on and they have to start him, I think they're going to have buyer's regret here or remorse because I don't think he's that great.
Okay.
This is the picture. I can never remember who it is, but it's Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. I'm going to put him in great.
Yeah, just
I
based
love
on
some
the
Anthony
potential.
Richardson. Yep. Based on that athletic potential.
He could end up elite or bad within a year. There is no bigger or wider range of outcomes.
Yep, I feel that.
Desmond Ridder.
I'm going to put him in below average.
Desmond Ridder. Yeah. All right. Aaron Rodgers. I hate this son of a bitch.
Yeah. Personality-wise for you?
Yeah, he's a douchebag.
yeah, I feel that.
I like I said, I grew up a Lions fan, so I hate the Packers too. And my ex-wife, or soon-to-be ex, is a Packers fan, so I just really fucking hate this guy.
That totally makes sense. I'm sorry to do this to you then, but I think I'm still going to put him in great for now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Moving on. Matthew Stafford.
I think Matthew Stafford probably belongs in average. I think that's where I'll put him. That back injury scares me, man. I wish that he didn't have this litany of injuries, but he still has Cooper Kupp. I still think he could be like QB2, QB3 on your Superflex team. So
CJ Stroud, 2 questions. Where should I put him on the list? And why the fuck does he look scared? Probably because this headshot, I'm like, why does he look like he's seen a ghost?
Probably because he's on the Houston Texans.
Oh yeah, that's the live reaction to them to them drafting him. He's like, oh fuck.
It's like, who the hell am I gonna throw to? CJ Stroud, I like his profile. Lands on the Texans though. That's rough. Yeah. I think I have to put him average.
That's the live reaction to the coach reading his list of wide receivers.
Yeah. At least you have Dameon Pierce, right?
Yeah.
Does that get you excited?
Tua,
I think he's great. I really do. I think if he could stay healthy, he's going to be great.
Ryan Tannehill.
Another guy that, look, I've been saying for a while that Will Levis is just younger, buffer Ryan Tannehill. So I think that he belongs in that same tier as Will Levis to me. Let's put him below average.
Oh, below average. Okay.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby, Deshaun Watson.
Oh man, it almost pains me to say it just because I do detest this guy for his character, but he probably will be good if he can come back from what he looked like last year, which was awful. But had a rough couple of years off. So if he can return to form, I think he belongs in good.
Good. All right. Broncos country. Let's ride with Russell Wilson.
Do I devalue all of what I've said so far if I put him in bad just because I'm a Hawks fan and I feel like I have to?
No, it's fair.
I can't do. I'm going to say I am going to say that there is a little bit of a window into what I think Russ really is now that he doesn't have any rushing upside, and I'm going to put him in below average.
He is a weird motherfucker. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Bryce Young, the final one here.
Bryce Young, man, I think that he's an excellent ball player. I really do. But that stature, I'm really scared about that stature. If he was 3 inches taller and a little heavier, I'd probably put him in great, but I think I'll probably put him in good.
All right. That's our last one. To recap, the elite tier of Dynasty quarterback: Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, and Trevor Lawrence. The great tier is Justin Fields, Jared Goff, Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, and Tua. Good, we have Carr, Cousins, Geno, Danny Dimes, Dak, Purdy, Deshaun Watson, and Bryce Young. Average, we have Jimmy G, Trey Lance, Jordan Love, Kenny Pickett, Kyler Murray, Matt Stafford, and CJ Stroud, who is scared for some reason. Below average, we have Jacoby Brissett, Will Levis, Ryan Tannehill. Jacoby Brissett, younger buffer Ryan Tannehill, Mac Jones, Desmond Ridder, and Russell Wilson. And our bad tier is Baker Mayfield and Sam Howell. That's definitely an interesting quarterback group there. Makes me really think I want a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Top 7.
And then
man.
I think I would add Tua and Fields into my list of quarterbacks I really want. And I think it means in any super flex league, I want one of the top 9 picks, because I don't really 10. We get to, I guess I don't mind Dak. You get to Richardson's upside, but I really feel safest and with the best upside for the top 9. Then you get to maybe Richardson, Dak, Deshaun Watson. I think that's what I want. I want a top 9 pick in super flex.
I totally agree with you. I'm looking at my list now, and I probably put Kyler Murray a little low, but I'm personally kind of terrified about it. So I think that's where I'll rest on my laurels there. But overall, looking back at that tier list, it does kind of sum up what I've seen in drafts for the most part and kind of how I feel about those guys.
Well, Corey, thank you very much for joining me. You want to take another chance here? Tell everyone where they can find your work.
Yeah, like I said, pretty much all the podcatchers we're on there, man. The Fantasy Football RPG podcast. We are grinding away, grinding through divisions right now, and it's a good time. So yeah, if you want to check us out, please do. We definitely appreciate all the views.
Absolutely. I'll try and check it out and join one day when I'm not at baseball. Alrighty. This has been My Tiers, the Dynasty Quarterback Edition with Corey Bittner. Once again, I am Aaron St. Dennis, the FF Mad Scientist. This has been the Mad Science Lab podcast. Thank you again to Corey for joining me, and thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a good night.